Now I will teach you the Heart Sutra. The Heart Sutra of the Buddha in Chinese, the Chinese translation of the Heart Sutra or the Chinese Heart Sutra. The Heart Sutra is a very foundational Buddhist sutra taught by Gautama Siddhartha the Buddha 2,500 years ago. The Chinese Heart Sutra, the Chinese translation of the Heart Sutra, is one of the earliest translations of the Heart Sutra. Of course, I have translated the Heart Sutra into African language, Asan language. I started one of the first translations, if not the very first, translations of the Buddhist sutras into African languages. I started translating the Buddhist sutras into African languages. Of course, for the first time in history, because there were no African Buddhists for 2,500 years. Buddhism just started coming into Africa, being accepted by Africans very recently, actually at the turn of the millennium. Buddhism was completely unheard of amongst Africans in the last century, the last millennium. So around the year 2000, Master Xingyun, the Chinese master, started the Nanhua Foundation in South Africa, Broncos Point, South Africa, a mighty foundation. They started teaching Africans Buddhism for the first time in South Africa and getting monks and really instructing them. Master Xingyun is very great, one of the greatest Buddhists alive. He's in his 90s, almost 100 years old. It's fantastic. He's built universities all over the world, thousands of Buddhist monks and nuns. He has the Fo Guangsheng Foundation. It's a mighty Buddhist foundation. So they started the Nanhua Foundation in Broncos Point, South Africa, Johannesburg. They started this great effort teaching Africans Buddhism. I mean, there's also Theravada. There's scraps of Theravada Buddhism in other parts of Africa. Master Xingyun is a humanistic Buddhist Mahayana Buddhist authority, the large school. There's Theravada Buddhism also from Thailand, and there are a couple of Africans who are moving in that direction. But this is really new in Africa. Most Africans for the past millennium or so, they've been exposed to Christianity and Islam. So these were the major, foreign teachings that came into Africa. Christianity, of course, and Islam. But recently, of course, Hare Krishna came, the Hindu Hare Krishna from the great works of Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna moved now all over Africa, and finally Buddhism. So I have learned Buddhism for decades here in the United States, for nearly 20 years. Actually, I've been studying Buddhism, Vietnamese and Chinese Buddhism, for actually over 20 years now. It's 2022. Since 2001, I have been a student of the great masters, Vietnamese masters and Chinese masters in Houston, Texas. I really formalized my study of Buddhism, learned the sutras, in detail under the great masters in Houston, Texas. So here is the Chinese Heart Sutra, the Chinese translation. It reads, Guanzi Sai Po Sa Xing Shen Poro Po Luo Mi Duo Shi Chao Jiang Wu Yu Jie Gong Du Yi Che Gu Er Xie Li Zi Sai Bu Yi Gong Gong Bu Yi Se Sai Zhi Shi Gong Gong Zhi Shi Se Shao Xiang Xing Shi Yi Fu Ru Shi Xie Li Zi Shi Ju Fa Kong Xiang Bu Shen Bu Mie Bu Gao Bu Jing Bu San Bu Jiang Shi Gu Kong Zhong Wu Se Wu Shao Xiang Xing Shi无眼耳鼻舌身意，无色声香味触法，无眼界乃至无意识界，无明亦无明尽，乃至无老死亦无老死尽，无苦即灭道，无知亦无道，亦无所道故。菩提萨埵亦般若波罗蜜多故，心无挂碍。无挂碍故，无有恐怖，远离颠倒梦想，就近涅槃。三世诸佛依般若波罗蜜多故，得阿耨多罗三藐三菩提。故知 般若波罗蜜多是大神唱，是大明唱，是无上唱，是无等等唱，能除一切苦，真实不思。不说般若波罗蜜多唱，只说唱曰：揭谛揭谛，波罗揭谛，波罗僧揭谛，菩提萨婆诃。揭谛揭谛，波罗揭谛，波罗僧揭谛，菩提萨婆诃。揭谛揭谛，波罗揭谛，波罗僧揭谛，菩提萨婆诃。摩诃般若波罗蜜多。This is the recitation of the Chinese Heart Sutra, the Heart Sutra in Chinese, or the Heart Sutra translation in Chinese.